and welcome to Blind Date with a Book. This is a special program that we're doing for the month of February where we're going to be featuring 18 mystery books, 5 kids, 5 teens, and 5 adults, plus 3 director's choice books. And we won't be telling you the titles or the authors, but we will be giving you some clues for each book, plus a short quote from each book. And based on that, if the book sounds intriguing to you, you can call us and request it to pick up through our curbside pickup service. You can also request books online through our website, and I'll have a short tutorial at the very end of this video to show you how that works if you don't know. Alright, I have my 5 teen books here in bags, so they'll remain a mystery. And you can look out for videos from Bailey, the kids librarian, with the 5 kids choices, and Karen, the adult librarian, with the 5 adult choices. I'm going to be reading these off my computer screen here so that you can't see the cover. Alright, here is teen book number 1, and your clues are a new identity, escape from the past, and living her wildest dreams. And here is your quote. Wrenched free from the past, Essie gazed up at live oaks weeping Spanish moss. A fairly decent send-off. That's something to wear. Had there been even a whiff of repentance with that last or next to last breath? Clearly Reverend McElroy's church hadn't thought so. It tolerated a graveside funeral, but not a burial among its parishioners. So it was that they were on the outskirts of the cemetery, in strangers' ground. Reverend McElroy, Gravedigger Boggins, Gravedigger Scriven, Bina, Ma Clara. Essie shifted from foot to foot, willed herself to sail into her dream coming true, her rescue from a life of pitiful prospects. Her magnificent black mourning dress bore witness to that. Yet, even while surrendering to a moment of delight over that fancy black dress, in her wishes having wings, Essie still couldn't keep her mind from finding slipways to the past. Right. Book number 2. Here are your 3 clues. A boy possessed by emptiness, travel through space and time, friendship and love. And here's your quote. He was looking through me, at some point millions of miles away. I tried to draw another picture, but nothing comes out. The boy has brought a terrible heaviness into the room, an invisible darkness. But then something changes. The people next to me start talking, breaking a silence that had fallen over the class. So strong was the silence I had unknowingly been holding my breath. I exhale and try to breathe a bit freer. The people next to me start laughing, and I realize the heaviness is gone. The darkness has left. The boy looks different now. His fake smile has been replaced with a look of genuine focus on the painting before him. With every stroke of his brush, he looks more alive, more human. Okay, book number 3. Here are your 3 clues. 7 lives, the elixir of life, cursed lovers. And here's your quote. With an effort, his head clears, and into his memory comes the image of the map of Blessed, the one that he'd saved on his device. He realizes that the map in front of him is not the same as the one that he had recorded back at the office. That one had 2 halves of very distinct shape, like the 2 wings of a butterfly, though the western half slightly smaller, giving it a lopsided look. The 2 halves were joined by a narrow strip of land. Eric looks at the paper map in his hand. Only the eastern half of the island is printed. Half the island is missing. Now why, he thinks, would they print a map of only half the island? That would be stupid, unless you wanted to keep half of it secret. Book number 4. Your clues are a very long journey, an epic tale, and a prince in disguise. And your quote. I can't remember when I first learned that I was born as a replacement for my dead sister, Elise. It was just one of the things I knew, the way I knew other things, like the story of the stormy circumstances of my own birth, the unending catalogue of mother's superstitions, and my father's skill at drawing wind roses. Mother was always telling me about Elise, how good she was, how she always did what she was told, how she stayed close by, and what a great help she was to Mother in the kitchen. I never could do any of that. It was partly that curious, exploring side of me. I just had to see or taste or hold whatever it was that had caught my eye. But it was also some crazy restlessness, like my legs needed to be moving. I could never keep still, except once in a while when I was with Nettie. And our final book, your clues are alternate universes, a fantasy world, and magic. And also this one is an audiobook, by the way. Here's your quote. The Atlantean box contained something that had been brought from another world when our world was only just beginning. What? Asked Diggory, who was now interested in spite of himself. Only dust, said Uncle Andrew. Fine, dry dust. Nothing much to look at. Nothing much to show for a lifetime of toil, you might say. Ah, but when I looked at that dust, I took jolly good care not to touch it, and thought that every grain had once been in another world. I don't mean another planet, you know. They're part of our world, and you could get to them if you went far enough. But a really other world. Another nature, another universe. Somewhere you would never reach even if you traveled through the space of this universe forever and ever. A world that could be reached only by magic. Well. Here Uncle Andrew rubbed his hands till his knuckles cracked like fireworks. I knew, he went on, that if only you could get it into the right form, that dust would draw you back to the place it had come from. Okay, and finally here is the Director's Choice book for the teen category. I don't have it with me right now, but I do have the clues and the quote for you. A 13-year-old boy, a plane crash in the Canadian wilderness, a survival story, a Caldecott winner and first of a series. And your quote. Seconds passed, seconds that became all of his life, and he began to know what he was seeing, began to understand what he saw, and that was worse, so much worse, that he wanted to make his mind freeze again. Alright, if you'd like to request one of these books, give us a call. And now for the short tutorial on requesting books through our website. Okay, so if you'd like to request books or other items through our website, you can do that. It's ahmfl.org. If you're on a regular desktop computer, you'll see it looking like this, and there will be a menu option here for request your next book. And we have specific title requests and themed book bag requests, which I'll explain in a second. Or if you're on a device, it might look more like this, and you'll have to click here to see the menu. And then it looks the same from there. It says request your next book. All right, so the specific title book requests are only for if you actually know the title of a specific book that you'd like to request. So obviously that would not work for a blind date with the book, since the whole point is that it's a mystery, but I'll just show you real quickly. So say if we wanted The Giver or something like that. So you just search for your book here. Okay, I see that the book is available. Actually, that's the CD. Well, it doesn't matter. All right, so say I want it in the audio version. So I click place hold. All right, and then at that point, you have to type in your library barcode number. And then make sure that your contact information is correct, that you're going to be notified in the way that you want to be notified. And then just hit submit. All right, so now say that you don't have a specific book title request. We have another option which is the themed book bag request. And this is for people who just want a bunch of books on a certain theme, like mysteries or new releases or books about counting in numbers, whatever. And you can also use this request for our blind date with a book program. So you just fill in all your information here. And now you'll see there's a bunch of different, basically like a questionnaire, which will help us choose the books in the book bag for you if you're doing that option. But if you're using this for blind date with a book, you can just go into the other box here and just type which book you want. So let's say you liked the first adult book that Karen describes in her video. You would just type adult number 1 and then select your pickup date and hit submit. Or if you wanted the teen number 4, or if you liked the director's choice, the teen one, which is the one I described in my video, and Bailey will describe the kids director choice in her video, and Karen will describe the adult director's choice book in her video. All right, that's it. If you have any other questions, you can always give us a call. Have a great day. Bye.